birds are just too far away from this hide. I don't know if I've ever seen so many birds so quickly in one place. There's a woodpecker. There's a willow warbler. Well, this little corner has turned out to be quite amazing. Welcome everybody to another video, and today I've come to Filey Dams, really close to the Yorkshire coast. Never been here before. I'm going to be checking it out for bird photography, letting you know what I think. It's mid-September, it's just gone 6:30 in the morning, just after sunrise. I think you have a better chance of getting birds. I've got my 400mm lens with me, which is easy to carry around. Now this would usually be a pool, but as you can see it's completely dried up. There's just a little bit of water there, hardly anything at all, and you can see the mud cracks a little bit closer to the edge as well. We have had quite a dry summer and we had a period with very little rain. It's looking very quiet out there. There's a few moorhens, but from where the hide is, they're very far away for pictures. I'm trying to use the surroundings, including the texture and shape of those mud cracks, to make for a more environmental image. Now, one thing I have been asked recently by a couple of viewers is how close am I when I'm taking the pictures, because sometimes we show these images on screen, but you don't know how much they're cropped and how far away it was at the time, and it's really helpful for you to know how close I was with a certain lens and camera. So these shots of the moorhens were round about 20 metres away, taken with a fixed 400mm lens on a full frame camera. These pictures are still cropped down around 50%. One of the things I did read about Filey Dams is that it's really good for tree sparrows, and you can see they've got a couple of bird feeders up here, but also I can see nest boxes. Now I think there's some more on the reserve, but there's 2 nest boxes at the moment up here in the trees near these feeders. So it'd be nice to come back, maybe spring, summer. Might be possible to get some of those tree sparrows, maybe even nest building, which would be good. These nest boxes have been put up to encourage a healthy population of tree sparrows, and I can definitely hear plenty of those birds. There's also a few bat boxes as well. I could hear the tree sparrows then. I know the tree sparrow sound very well. That's a robin somewhere. I'm just outside Central Hide now. That is beautiful. I think that's probably one of the prettiest entrances I've ever seen to a hide. I'm almost on the other side of what would be the pool where I was earlier, with a really good view of these mud cracks. I'm just fascinated by it today because it just looks really beautiful, and the way the light's catching it and the contrast, those dark lines, and then this light moss, which I don't think it is actually moss, but it kind of looks like moss. It's very vibrant green. It was very, very quiet here, so I didn't stay long and moved on to the next hide. There's a blackbird in this hawthorn bush. It's a male, I think. But I can hear a tree sparrow chirping as well. I'm just thinking, is that blackbird going to start eating some of these berries? This is a great little spot. I'll bring that down a bit. Oh. It's like a little hawthorn tree, a couple of little hawthorn trees. Beautiful red berries. And the light is right behind me, so if I get anything in there, it's just going to hit it absolutely perfectly. Sort of wispy cloud in the sky. I'm not too bothered about that. But there's just a lot of noise here, a lot of bird calls, blackbirds, and the tree sparrows are still chirping. I just feel like it's a good spot to hang about and just wait. So I just got the lens, just hand holding because I forgot the strap. This is a time of year where you're going to start getting birds feeding on some of these berries, so it's always worth keeping a lookout. And sometimes they're not always that easy to spot. I've noticed it with blackbirds. Sometimes it can be in there in the trees, in the berries, and you don't really notice them until you kind of slow down and you really start to look. I decided to carry on to the next hide and return to this tree later. Just off the boardwalk is a pond dipping platform, a lovely little space to sit and relax, and I'm sure would be great for dragonflies in the summer. This is one of the birds I was really hoping to see today, which is rough, and I had that confirmed by someone else in the hide because I'm not always the best with waders. There's 3 of them out here, but again they are very distant using this 400mm lens, probably at least 30 metres. Got a really nice heron just by the edge of one of the pools. This is even more distant, and I'd estimate this at probably 40 or 50 metres. I had a brief flurry of 2 more hens that jumped up at one another and started to fight in mid-air. I just threw the camera up and took some shots, but unfortunately the camera couldn't lock onto the birds quick enough. It actually locked onto the background, so whilst I've got the action, unfortunately it's not sharp. Just a little bit about Filey Dam. It is managed by the Yorkshire Wildlife Trust. It's a very small reserve with 3 really good quality hides and a few screens next to them, and also a pond dipping platform. There's a clear footpath all around, and the majority of the reserve is suitable for wheelchairs. There's a fairly small car park which is free to use. It's also quite good for public transport as it's only around 15 minutes walk from the train station. I went back to that hawthorn tree, and this time I was not to be disappointed. I just caught a glimpse of a tree sparrow up there in the berries, absolutely perfect light, blue sky. By the time I got on it, got closer, he was off, but just missed out on an absolutely cracking shot. But just so many dunnocks. This is just an amazing spot for dunnocks. I imagine it would be really, really good in the spring. I'd love to try and photograph them when they're singing. There was one that came into the tree and then I got shots of it surrounded by those red berries, absolutely perfect. And then more started coming in, and there was just a ton of dunnocks. There was just loads of them in there. To shoot these dunnocks, I used the spot focus option on my camera to make sure the autofocus wouldn't be confused by all those branches. They might be some of the best dunnock shots I've ever got, all within about 10 minutes. There's now a great tit come in into the berries, and then a blue tit, and I can hear a wren chirping somewhere deeper down. It's incredible. This little corner has turned out to be quite amazing. There's a willow warbler. Well, this is bordering on ridiculous now because I've just seen a blackcap. And so I've now had 8 species of bird in this same hawthorn tree within about half an hour. There's a woodpecker. I don't know if I've ever seen so many birds so quickly in one place. This is brilliant, I'm going to live here. This is like an unbelievable little patch. I can't believe what I've just seen. But the one bird that I really want, the tree sparrow, I just haven't been able to get. If you're a regular or maybe you just found my channel, I'd love to know if you like this style of video, me visiting nature reserves and sharing what I see and photograph. Please let me know in the comments. So this is my first visit to Filey Dams today, and I have to say I absolutely love this little nature reserve. It is quite small. I tend to prefer the smaller places. It's nice and compact. Definitely some good opportunities for photography. One of the issues today is just how dry it's been, so there's hardly any water out there. It's very, very different. Speaking to someone in the hind, it's very, very unusual to see the water like this. There's almost no water out there at all, so I would have definitely had more opportunities with the waders in more normal situations, so I'll definitely come back sometime and give that a go. The encounter with those birds in the hawthorn tree was incredible, and I think with the willow warbler and the blackcap, it's probably down to the time of year. If you've had experience of Filey Dams yourself, please do put them in the comments, and any tips you've got on photography for other people visiting. If you like this style of vlog of visiting nature reserves and just showing you kind of warts and all and what I get, then click this video up on the screen. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.